Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1 for this, our preview to the Dutch Grand Prix. My goodness, how long it's been. Wow, well, I say how long it's been. I put a video up this morning because there was breaking news that Jack Doohan had signed to Alpine for 2025. But in a non-breaking news related video, it's been a while since I've just sat here and spoken to you. You know, it's been since the Belgian Grand Prix all those weeks ago. There have been videos out, by the way, in between then and now. There was the mid-season driver ratings, which people got very upset at. There was the F1 documentary for this year, Didier Pironi, the true 1982 Formula One world champion, which, go check that one out. 4 months of my life went on that video just for some people to read the title, leave a comment, and not watch the video. So there you go, but watch that one. That one's a good one. There was also a video where I spent £150 of my own money on trading cards, and the video wasn't even that good. So there you go, that's what I've been up to. Let me know what you've been up to in the comments below. But shall we talk about some Formula One? Because Formula One is back, everybody. Before we get into that, firstly, like and subscribe. That is the rules. And secondly, a big shout out to our members, of course. The Joyous James, Dakota, Robin Myers, and Sarah Strubble. Have I said that right? Yes, I have. I tried to say the names without looking at the names to be more professional. But I said them, worried that I said them wrong, looked at the names, and did it anyway. But here we go. We're all having a fun time. Let's talk about the news, because to be honest with you, there hasn't been that much news going around. Normally, if in a week off of Formula One or a summer break, if there was news to talk about, I'd come up on the Saturday morning and do the news video. But I haven't done a Saturday morning news video in like 2 or 3 weeks because it's been a very, very quiet summer break. And to be fair, there's not much to talk about here this morning either. So there is the news that Jack Doohan has signed to Alpine for 2025. There's already a video on that on the channel. But just a quick run through is I'm very happy for him, but I wonder how well he is truly going to do. I don't think he's one of these guys who's going to come in with a tag of generational talent or future world champion. I hope that Alpine give him time, but Alpine can't even give their team principals time, so I worry for him. But hopefully he'll be able to show what he can do from there. Let's move on, though, because there's only really one news story to discuss, and it's happened today, revolving around the Haas F1 team. So here we go. Former Haas sponsor, Uralkali. So if you're not familiar, Uralkali sponsored Haas a few years ago. They are a company owned by Russian businessman Dmitry Mazepin, who is the father of former Formula One driver Nikita Mazepin. They sponsored Haas, and then after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Haas cut ties with the company and dropped Nikita Mazepin from the team as well. So there's been some legal stuff going on between the two of them in terms of Uralkali saying that Haas owed them money, and it has continued over to today, where they have made a bid in the Dutch courts to seize the Formula One team's assets, including cars and other equipment, over an outstanding payment. As a result, bailiffs and the police visited the Haas team at Zandvoort on Thursday night to push forward with the matter and evaluate the team's assets. Whilst it was agreed that the Haas team's participation in the Dutch Grand Prix could proceed as normal, it is now understood that the team has been told it will not be allowed to remove its cars and equipment from the country after the race until the outstanding payments have been made. So this potentially could be huge, because as we know, if we follow F1 regularly, basically once an F1 race is completed, the teams are taking everything down and moving on to the next one, especially when you have back-to-back race weekends like we do here with the Dutch Grand Prix, then the Italian Grand Prix immediately afterwards. So when this race ends, all the teams will be pulling everything down and setting off to go towards Monza, apart from Haas, who will now have to stay there by law. So I think what's being said really from Haas is that they feel that they don't have to pay this. So I have no idea how this is going to go down. And we could be in a position where when we turn up to Monza next weekend, there might not be a Haas team competing there, which would be bad because I like Haas and I like seeing Haas compete. But this is a huge legal issue now going on, and I really have no idea how this one is going to end up. And actually, just as I'm recording this, a quote has come out from Eo Komatsu, the team principal of Haas. This is an exclusive statement that went to Racing News 365. He had to say this: the court ruling was made some time ago. We completely accepted the ruling. We've been trying to make the payment, but the process is pretty complicated, so it's taking longer than anticipated. This came to a head this weekend, but we are now fully focused with our lawyers. It's our lawyers' job. We are trying to resolve this as quickly as possible, so I'm confident it will be resolved very soon. He went on to say that that's why it's taken a long time, but we are trying to resolve it as quickly as possible, and I'm confident that we can. Our target is to finish completely this transaction by the end of this week. So it sounds like they are going to be paying up. They have accepted that they do need to pay up, and that they will. They also say that they are not negotiating anything between them and Uralkali. So, yeah, they're saying that they can get it done by the end of the week. Hopefully they can. Otherwise, they will not be allowed to leave the country, which is pretty huge things for a Formula One team. So, big drama at Haas as usual. Let's move on now from the news to Special Helmet Street, because we all love a bit of Special Helmet Street, and it's a lot lighter than whatever the hell that news story was going on there. So let's have a look here. This is Nico Hulkenberg's special helmet this weekend. Splashes of orange mixed in with the stars, which have like a little subtle Dutch flag in there, the red, white and blue. Very good stuff from Nico Hulkenberg. There's only actually two to discuss this week, because there's also this one from Valtteri Bottas, which, as the king of Special Helmet Street, you would expect is a very nice one. So, of course, there is the Dutch flag again, but also celebrating the tulips and the wind turbines and the bicycles. But also, here is I Want to Ride My Bicycle, a reference to that very famous Queen song. We all know that Bottas is a lover of bikes. So that is a very nice special helmet there from Valtteri Bottas. There you go. It's a quick one this week, Not much news, not many special helmets to discuss. It might be the quickest preview we've ever done, because now it's time for Upgrade Corner. Now, to go into this now, mixed. Some teams bring a lot, some teams bring absolutely nothing. So Red Bull have brought new engine cover, halo and mirror stays. So the engine cover is a circuit specific one. Halo and mirror stays are more performance based, but how much performance are you really going to get out of those two pieces there? So I'm not expecting Red Bull to be dramatically quicker this weekend than they were before. McLaren, though, have brought a huge upgrade here from McLaren. So front corner, front suspension, floor edge, rear corner, rear wing, and beam wing, all brand new on the McLaren. So big stuff coming out of a McLaren there. Alpine have brought a new front suspension and a new rear corner. Williams have brought some good stuff as well. So Williams floor body, diffuser, side pod inlet, engine cover and central air intake, all brand new on the Williams. The Racing Bills have brought a new rear corner, and the Haas have brought new front wing, nose, front suspension and front corner. So some good stuff there. Nothing for the likes of Mercedes, nothing for Aston, nothing for Ferrari either. Those teams towards the front of the grid staying the same, but Mercedes still looking pretty strong. As we go on now to have a look at the free practice sessions that we've had today, starting with FP1, which was a very wet one, which got drier towards the end of the session, and realistically the lap times don't truly tell us anything, because as the session was ending, the track was getting drier and drier. So really it was whoever set a lap last towards the end got that fastest lap time. Despite that, it was Lando Norris who topped that session, with Verstappen in second and Hamilton in third. Sainz was there as well in fourth, George Russell fifth, and Alex Albon in a good position in sixth place, Piastri seventh, Hulkenberg eighth, Magnussen 9th, Zhou Guan Yu in 10th. The more realistic free practice session was the FP2 one, So that was dry throughout. There was a red flag in the middle because Hulkenberg crashed. Sainz also had a gearbox issue, so neither of them ran for the entire session. But as we ended that one, it was George Russell on top from Oscar Piastri, then Lewis Hamilton in third. Lando Norris fourth, Max Verstappen in fifth place. So those top five drivers, those kind of ones, at the minute, it could be any of those five could win any race at the minute. It was in that order. The Red Bull seems to be on the back foot yet again, but he has been pretty consistent. He's been up there. Max, oh God, I got all choked up then. We know that Max loves this track, has won all three of the last three races here since its big comeback. We know how good he can be here, and if you rule him out for the win this weekend, I think that'll be a pretty foolish thing to do, despite the Red Bull, I think, being easily the third fastest car on the track thus far. The real question is, who is the fastest? Because throughout the most of the session, it is the McLarens leading the way. Then as the session ended, the Mercedes turned up and was the faster of the two. So personally, I do think that the McLaren is the faster overall car here this weekend. Then it would be the Mercedes, then the Red Bull. But I think Max has got something special up his sleeve here. And we know on a home field advantage, I think Hamilton has said before, when you got your home fans cheering for you, you gain a couple extra temps. So, Max has got a massive home field advantage here, so maybe that can push him a little bit further as well. But yeah, looking good, those five drivers there throughout the entire session. As for the rest of the top 10, Alonso was 6th, Tsunoda 7th, Magnussen 8th, Leclerc down in 9th, and Albon in 10th. Ferrari really seem to be struggling again. They're not on the pace of those top three teams, well, 2.5 teams. Perez was down in 12th to continue his woes at the minute. Of course, this could all change come tomorrow in qualifying. We'll have to wait and see. But as for right now, I'm putting McLaren as favourites, which bring us to our predictions. And we've done it in just under 13 minutes. Could you believe it? Now, of course, for every race I make 2 predictions, and for every race I never ever get them wrong. That's a fact. And here are my predictions. Prediction number 1. Max Verstappen will be on pole position for this race. Prediction number 2. He will not win. I feel the win will go to Oscar Piastri. Is who I'm backing for the win this weekend, because it seems like one of those races throughout all the practice sessions, despite Mercedes being very quick, it always seems to revolve around Max and Lando, and those two battling it out. When Lando goes fast, Max goes faster. When Max goes fast, Lando goes faster. It seems like we're building up to a confrontation between those two. Piastri right on by for the win. I'm backing Oscar Piastri this weekend. So there you go. That's our preview. We'll be back tomorrow for all things qualifying. Then Sunday we'll be here just after the race is finished to talk about whatever the hell happens there in Zandvoort, with driver ratings as well on Monday, and F1 Academy is on this weekend as well, so all the coverage of that will be here on Sunday as well. A lot to come over the next few days, so make sure you subscribe for all of it. Let me know your predictions for this race weekend, and until next time, have a good one. Goodbye.